Hey guys, so this is a very fast intro. I'm in my car because I don't want to record on campus, and this is something that I really need to put out there. So here's a little quick introduction on what I'm about to show you. So around November, I went to the La Conve again. If you don't know, that's an anime and comics convention, also video games. And I met Robin Lord Taylor. Robin Lord Taylor is the penguin from the Fox series Gotham, which is one of the best series I've ever seen. So I actually bought a VIP pass and got to talk to him, have him face to face, and have a full-on Q&A with him, and I recorded it. And well, I wanted just to show you guys that little Q&A that we did. Take in mind, this was back in November, and I couldn't upload it due to technical difficulties, but anyway, here it is. I hope you enjoy it, and more normal videos are already on their way, so don't worry about that. And also PAX, it's just a couple of weeks away. We're going to meet all the N10 members. It is going to be great. See you later.
Espanol knows. Hola. How are you? How's it going? What's up, buddy? Nice to meet you. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming. Hi, how you doing? Good. Hi. Hi. All right. I think I got everybody. Amazing. I don't like being so far away from everybody.
We love you.
I love you too. Thanks so much for coming, you guys. What's that?
You're welcome. You're beautiful.
Oh, get out of here. No, stop. I mean, you look so amazing. And the cane, too. Fantastic. Brilliant. Well, how's it going? What's going on? Have you guys been to this convention before?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great one. I'm really impressed. Like, I'd never been to Monterrey before. I've been sorry, I'm going but he visitado Cancún, sí, Acapulco, Cuernavaca y la Ciudad de México. Yeah, but never Monterrey. It's amazing. I love it.
And what do you think about the city?
I love it. It's great. I haven't seen very much of it, but yeah, we went around a little bit yesterday, and it's really beautiful.
Have you eaten
Cold.
tacos?
What's
Have
that?
you eaten tacos already?
Not yet. I think that's tonight or tomorrow night. But
You got
yeah.
a good weather. It's usually very hot, like really
Yeah.
unbearably hot.
Right, that's what I was expecting. And like I was so happy I brought a sweatshirt. It's crazy. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions or you got a question?
Yeah, do you meet the cast of Gotham?
Yes. Yes, they are like my family. And yeah, we
We miss Gotham too.
yeah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not the same.
It's-
Not anymore.
No.
Oh
Like
man.
Thursdays are not the same. Even they finish that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well, it's funny. Like not one person in the entire show thought they were better than anyone else. We were all in it together. Yes, like a family. And we would do a lot of we call it press junkets, but it's like they would like take us to Comic-Con in San Diego, for example, which is really big and crazy. And we would go together as a cast, and it was funny because we would see other casts from other shows. I won't say which ones. No. But they, you could tell that, they weren't as close as we were. Like we would just all, party together and hang out the entire time, and yeah. So I miss them all very much. Yes,
I
yeah.
remember you said that you wanted a penguin to do something really despicable at the end, but I still wanted to win. I don't care how twisted and crazy he was, and even in the very last Mina, I really wanted to win. Did
Yeah.
you think that you get there, or you're happy with how it ended, how everything wrapped up?
I'm very happy with how it. Did you want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very happy with where we ended.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little frustrating because we only had 12 episodes for the final season,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's hard.
yeah, and
Yeah.
as you guys know,
Yes.
there were so many storylines
Yes.
going that we had to bring to an end. So I would have preferred to have a full season, so that we could have more time and, really sort of get into sort of the things that you're talking about. But as it was, I'm happy that we had a finale at all. So,
That's really
yeah.
Él está.
Oh, yeah. Either. You go first. Okay.
Okay, what's your favorite part of the character? Because I know that you are the cutest man ever. Yes. I don't want to be rude, but I love Oswald, but he's such a son of a bitch. Yeah.
So-
The best son of a bitch.
I would say my favorite part would be that there was always something sympathetic about him, even though, like you said, he was a miserable son of a bitch. There was always, there was always something there where you could see, like, if things had gone differently for him, you could see that he would have very possibly been a good person. Like he still would have probably been manipulative and probably been, a bit of an asshole. But he wouldn't have been
But
such.
Even when he's an asshole and a son of a bitch, it's a mess.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, yeah. I just love that. Yeah, there was still a bit of humanity there with him, and it made people, myself included, it made you root for him. You wanted him, like you said, you wanted him to succeed. Which I love that duality is very cool. I have to go with my friend right here. Yes.
Which will be the perfect end for your character?
The perfect end for Penguin. I would love for him to. Well, it's hard because he's a villain, so I don't want anything to be good for him because then he loses his edge, and then he just becomes a regular person. So, I mean, I love it when I think the perfect end is actually when things go wrong for him, because I think that's the most interesting thing about him. And I was so lucky that I got to do this so many times over the show, was like go from rock bottom and then have to work my way back up. That's when I think he's the most brilliant, and that's when I think he's like, the most special, because it's unexpected. Like again, he's like, he comes from like, he almost dies and then he ends up back on top, and I just think that's so exciting about him. So it would be something more like that, I think.
She's asking if you can read this.
Sure.
She's from her
Voy a mandar
daughter.
un mensaje a mi hija.
You can say
Okay.
hi to her daughter. She's a
Donna.
huge fan.
What? Are we filming? Hola, Donna. Thank you so much. Makes my heart to not be there this moment. I was expecting this day to be so much excited, but I had to go to a contest outside the country in order to represent Mexico. Amazing. Maybe we can come back someday.
Fue encantándome con su personaje, paso a paso, lo felicito como actor. Y me encanta que mi hija sea su fan de él.
Great. Donna, thank you so. Oh my gosh, I love it. Eso es Donna.
Es Dan.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Ella lo hizo para ti.
She made it for you.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much, Donna. Good luck with your contest. That's so exciting. Amazing that you get to represent Mexico. It's one of my favorite countries in the whole world, and with the best people. And you are absolutely one of those amazing people. So, I wish you were here next time. I'll see you next time.
And her mother said that she's a huge fan of you or acting. Like she says you like where you grown up as an actor, and she say that she's very like proud that her daughter is fan of yours.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please send her my love, please. Amazing. All right. Yes, we'll go there.
English is a bad.
It's okay. We have our friend.
Which is your favorite character in the comics?
In like
No, los comics.
total all comics.
All comics.
El Pinguino. No, I really love the character of. I like the villains. Like I find that so much more interesting.
Character is villain or superhero?
whatever you want, billions or superheroes.
I was talking about this yesterday with someone, and I always think of the character that I love so much, and that, I mean, yeah, it would be a dream to play, would actually be Magneto, who I love the character. I love the X-Men anyway, like, it's one of my favorites. And yeah, and there's just something about the story of Magneto, and having survived the Holocaust and having seen the absolute worst of humanity, the absolute worst, the most monstrous thing, that's one of the most monstrous things that's ever happened in human history, being witness to that, and having that fuel his drive to conquer, and I just find that so compelling. So yeah, Magneto, I would say. Awesome. All right, right there.
Well, I always, my English is bad too.
Oh no, it's amazing. It's
Please
better
don't
than my
use me.
Spanish, that's for sure. Hola. Hi. Thanks for coming.
Something that I really feel with that penguin is that it's so different the penguins that we see before in the cinema. And how you can do it, how you can give you that so perfect penguin that we love him. We love that he's evil, he's a son of bitch, he's but you feel so empathetic with penguin. Every episode you say, please penguin be happy, please penguin be happy, please penguin be happy. How you can do that, I don't know, how you can do so a character that we don't have idea that we love, that we don't have idea that was so good, how you convert it with something that we love, because we love your penguin. Your penguin is the best. It's the best penguin that ever.
Thank you so much.
See
Oh.
before.
I don't know. I mean, I always, as an actor, I always try and find, even if I'm playing someone evil, I always try and find something good or something that I can connect to with that character, and I think that is part of the reason why there's some empathy with the penguin. But also, I give most of the credit to our incredible writers and our producers and the creators of Gotham. It really was their vision of the penguin, and I was in the right place at the right time. And turns out that I was the actor that they wanted, and what I brought to that first audition was what they wanted in the rest of the show. So yeah, I don't know, it feels like destiny. Let's go to the back. You, yeah.
Sorry for reading late.
What's that?
Sorry for reading late.
Oh no, it's okay. Okay, it's okay. I love your shirt, by the way. Yes. Yours too.
How do you feel that DeVito talks to your character of the penguin?
How do you feel?
How Danny DeVito
Yeah.
talks
That he
good
really
about
likes your character.
that he likes your character.
I mean that. Yeah. My mother in the show, or Oswald's mother. Yes. We all remember.
Rest in peace.
Yes, exactly. Rest in peace. So that's the actress Carol Kane, who is fabulous and lovely and just incredibly genuine. I'm sure you've all seen her in many, many things over the years. She is best friends with Danny. They did a show many, many years ago called Taxi, which was a comedy and sitcom, and they became best friends, and they've been best friends ever since. And so when we were working together on Gotham, she came to work one day and she was like, I spoke to someone last night, and she had called Danny and just told him that she was playing the Penguin's mother, and he said the most lovely things about what I was doing with the character, and honestly, that was the validation that I needed. It was very scary going into this show because people, feel very strongly about Batman and all of the characters in Batman. But so I was very afraid of that. But then once I found out that Danny DeVito was giving me the thumbs up and was happy with what I was doing, I was like, screw the rest of you. Danny likes it, so I'm good. So yeah, it was just amazing. Okay,
Do you have a favorite episode?
favorite episode?
Su capítulo favorito.
I mean, there's so many. I usually always tell this story because not a lot of people know the story, but The episode that is most special to me would probably be in this second season when Penguin's father dies. That episode, when we were shooting that, my own father died at the same time. So it was crazy. Like we were on set and we were shooting the scenes where he dies, and I get the phone call that my dad had died. And so, we took a break, and then I was, my husband came, and, we were talking, and I couldn't fly home until the next day. So then I was there, and I was like, I have to work today. I have to finish these scenes today. The producer said, you can go, you don't have to stay. But I was like, when as an actor do you ever get that opportunity to play what is really happening to you? I've never had that happen, and it was just like, it was an incredible experience, and in a weird way, it's like my dad is part of this journey as well. Like anyone who now knows, and if you go back and you watch, you can watch that episode and you can know that my dad also died that day. And it's this weird it's like my dad lives on in this weird way through this show. So I just think it's like the most amazing thing that's ever happened to me with my career. And also, so it's the most special episode to me, but it's also the episode that I will never watch. So I've never seen it, I don't ever want to watch it, but it's the episode that's the most special to me. So yeah.
Can I ask again?
Sure.
What do you think about Oswald and your relationship?
Oswald and what?
And
And Jerome. Ah, yes. Oswald and Jerome. I think that, for good reason, they absolutely despise each other, because it really is. It's like oil and water. They will never mix. Jerome is chaos. Oswald is control, and there's no way for them to ever connect. But I will say, that is some fun stuff to play. That when Oswald and Jerome were both in Arkham together, shooting that day with Cameron Monaghan, who plays Jerome, was so crazy. It was so fun. I mean, it was one of the most intense days, and yeah, but it's because of that reason. It's because they're opposites, and that, as an actor, Cameron and I were both having the time of our lives. So.
do you have a good relationship with Cameron, or?
He's amazing. I haven't seen him since we shot, but we connect on social media every once in a while. And sorry. Right. Let's see. How about you? Yes.
How do you do to make such intense emotions?
Oh. I mean,
You use a process in your
I think I'm more of a physical actor, so I tend to work sort of. I use the physical surroundings, sort of, and my own body. I use that to help me get into the emotions, if that makes sense. Like it helps me to, and I really think about everything. When I'm doing, if it's a big scene where something very emotional is happening, I think about, everything that happened to lead up to that moment for this character, all of that stuff, really concentrating on that, helps me get into that emotional state. And then again, it's just, acting is a craft. I studied at university for this, and the more that I do it, it's like the more practice I get, the easier it becomes. And again, it's one of the most fun things to do as an actor, is to play those big, crazy emotions, and Gotham was the most amazing job, because I got to do that pretty much every day. Go back there.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
How you handle the situation that even if the penguin is not the main character of the series, because it's James Gordon, and the story is about the Bruce Wayne penguin was was the most magnetic person of the series.
Well, thank you. I don't. I don't know. I credit. I feel very fortunate because we really established who Oswald is in the show in the very first episode. So like, you know, I was the first major villain to have like the first big launch you know, like I was the first one there who got my big story. You know, you had other villains like the Riddler, for example. He had a very slow, and I mean he's the most amazing person, but like an actor, but he had a very slow development, you know, from the very beginning, you know, and which I think was perfect for that character. For me, it was like from day one, it was like out of the gate, you know, it was about me. So, or about the Penguin was the villain from the beginning. So, yeah, I don't know. It's just the writers. It's how they crafted the show. You know, it just, yeah, I don't know. And I just had the best lines and the best writing and, you know, the best costumes. It was awesome. Yeah. Thanks, man.
I'm excited to know about Will or you. Can you tell us about this character?
Yeah. Okay. So.
Can you tell us about your character?
I'm in a new show called You on Netflix.
I'm a you.
Yeah. So yeah, It should be coming out soon. The second season. The first season is on Netflix now. It's very dark as well. I'm always in like the most messed up shows. And I can't really say very much at all about my role in that. Only that I get to be blonde again, which is nice. I didn't have to dye my hair. I don't have to limp. and yeah, the character is very different from Oswald, which for me it was so exciting and very important because, you know, as an actor, when you play a character like the Penguin, you know, there's, you know, you get a little nervous that, you know, I'll be typecast. Like I will always be, you know, considered as that. And there's so many other things that I want to do as an actor. And so when this show came along, because it's very different, you know, I was just very excited about that. So yeah, check it out in the next couple months. First season is on Netflix. It's about a stalker, serial killer. It's only 10 episodes, so you know you binge it like that.
You look beautiful with brunette.
What's that?
You look beautiful with the black hair.
With blonde or with the black?
Black.
It's okay. I
prefer black with the both.
yeah, you're not alone. Yeah.
Talking about you playing eccentric characters, how would you feel, or would you like to play a more normal one?
Sanity person.
Yeah, I would love to play. I want to play everyone. I want to play, you know, crazy, eccentric people, and I also like. There's something really, really amazing about playing someone who's very, you know, down to earth and grounded, which is actually, funny enough, is much more difficult than playing an eccentric character. Like playing someone, you know, who more normal, I would say, is a real challenge because, you know, as an actor you can get a little carried away with all of the flourishes and again the eccentricities that can be easier in a way, and as opposed to like playing someone who's normal. So, but I want to do it all. Yeah. Thank you.
This is the last question.
Oh, this is the last question. Very fast. We'll go.
Like my question is, for example, you said that Oswald has suffered like so much, like his mom or his dad, like he lose both of his parents. Like, will you change something of his story so he could be like happier? Or for example, like when Nygma told him that he didn't like him and start dating the other woman, will you change something like that to make him happier?
I think if we change little things like that, yes, Oswald would become happy. But again, Oswald is a damaged person. he doesn't really understand what real love is. It's unfortunate because again, that he's the product of his environment. Like he's only known Gotham City and the people inside of it have damaged him so much. So again, he has very weird boundaries with people and so yeah, he may be happier, but I feel like because he has such such a messed up view of relationships with people, I think he would find some way to mess it all up, you know, because he's very damaged, you know, and so yeah, I think, and also like if we made him happy, then that's not fun, you know. It's not Gotham. Gotham is a messed up, awful place, you know. Actually, no. We can do a couple more. We have a couple. I have like a couple minutes before my photo op, so we're okay. Yeah.
Before he doesn't like anything about comics, about series, about villains and things like that. But when he started the series, he saw the Penguin and he loved it, and he started to see Gotham, and he starts to be a fan. Actually, his first time being in a Conve.
In a Comic-Con? Oh, fantastic! Oh, thank you so much, man. That's the nicest thing to hear. You know, I wasn't a huge comic book person either, really, before Gotham. I mean, you know, I loved the movies, all of the movies. Both. I mean, the first Batman movie was. I remember seeing it as a kid, and it blew my mind. But then yeah, getting into Gotham, like it really opened my mind to these stories, and really, you know, how it's not for kids. It's actually there's some very just very incredibly moving stories in there, and comic books, they are the mythology of now. Like now it's like, you know, it's real mythology that we all follow, and I just think it's so exciting, especially the amount of creativity and art that comes from these stories is just incredible. You walk out on the floor and you see how comic books have inspired people to create and to become artists, and also just to connect with each other. Like it brings people together in such an amazing way. I just feel so flattered so honored to be a small part of this whole universe. It's incredible. Yeah. So gracias. One more time. What's my opinion of?
About how Oswald and Ed say that their relationship that they were like brothers.
No, that's what's so.
I mean, yeah.
It was.
What's my opinion? I think after, you know, after all of the drama, you know, after, you know, and I don't want to spoil the ending because some of you may not have seen it yet, but you know, I really love how we brought that relationship to a close. It did feel like brotherhood, and you know, they realized by the end that together they are unstoppable, and they are similar to. It's a similar thing to Jerome in a way, whereas like Corey and I would always talk about how Oswald is the heart and the Riddler is the brain, and together, again, they can do anything. And I think as they go along, after they get through that rough patch that they went through, they realize that, and I think that's really awesome. I just, like, the fact that I could end the whole journey with Corey is just amazing, and he's become one of my closest, dearest friends in my entire life, so yeah, it's very special to me.
Please the personification.
Can I please what?
The personification
Of the I can't, only because, again, I need it's about all of the pieces coming together. I know, but it wouldn't be the same. Like if you see me do it like I am now, it's not as impressive, it's not as exciting. You know, I need to have the makeup, and I need to have the hair, and I need to have the limp and the clothes and everything. That's who makes Oswald, you know. Like, I mean, this one right here. So there you go. But yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, and just by the way, I love your cameo on Young Wick.
Oh yay! Thank you. Gracias. Sorry.
Can you scream, I'm the king of
You are all
Gotham?
loving
I'm the king of Gotham! There we go. That's all I need. You're welcome. Anyone who else has it? My friend.
Is there any chance we get to see any character from Gotham in Crisis?
In where?
Crisis on Infinite Earths, TW.
Oh yeah, any crossover? Yeah. You never know, honestly. Like I know that all of us would be interested in that. It's difficult because Gotham takes place in its own time. You know, like we have different technology and like you know, it's exactly. It's not like current. But you know, you never know. Like I also know though that when they didn't destroy our set, they actually kept the GCPD set. So that's the rumor anyway. So you never know. And yeah, maybe if you tweet about it to Warner Brothers,
I know.
you know, the process. Oh, again, I really relied on the physical transformation. Like every day when I had to work, it was, you know, an hour and a half of hair and makeup with the nose and the thing, and then I have another 20 minutes getting into those beautiful suits, and then on top of that, we had the most beautiful sets, and also both the sets that we built, and then also the real locations where we shot. We shot in New York City. We did about, I would say 40% of it was shot in real places in New York City. So you get to go to these amazing buildings, these amazing locations, and some really bad locations, like really nasty. But all of that coming together helps me get into Oswald, get into his head. And also on top of that, just really relying on the writing, the words that he says, what the scripts, what the writers are giving us to do, all of those aspects got me into character. Yeah. Gracias. Awesome. Okay, one more. We got one more. Oh, I have to go with, we have echoes here. Fabulous.
I was searching for your Maya, but I can't find it.
Forget him.
You're trying to kill me.
I know, right? You could do better.
I was a little late, but I would like to know what do you think about the relationship between Fish Moody and Oswald? I mean, Oswald's origin in some way, the boss mentality, even with your own, he managed to remain calm or that made him think. No. I think that somehow that could be learned by Fish. The way to live.
Yeah.
His boss. I think it had to be some way with Fish. She's amazing and also too, so I think both are the
I love that relationship. I think Oswald is who he is because of Fish Mooney. And actually, I will just say, there was a weird parallel between what was on the show and what was in real life. I had never been in anything this big before, and it was very scary. And they would put me, when we would do interviews and stuff, they would pair me with Jada. And she, of course, is one of the most poised, beautiful, intelligent women I've ever met in my entire life. And she showed me how to do this, how to talk to people, how to, do interviews, how to she taught me everything I know about being a professional actor in the public eye. And again, it's very similar to what Oswald and Fish had. So it was really amazing. And again, I can't say enough incredible things about Jada Pinkett Smith. She is an absolute legend and just a truly, truly good, genuinely good person. So, gracias. Gracias. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. I'm so happy you came. Amazing.
I have something for you.
Oh, amazing.
Celebrating the 80th anniversary of Batman.
That's amazing. Thank you, man.
Fotografía con Robin. Ya pueden pasar al área para que los coman.
That's awesome, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, darling. Gracias. Amazing.
Entonces, si gustan pasar ya para que sean los primeros en tomar su fotografía.
¡Acción!
Yo quiero comprar un pingüino.
No pica o no pica. Te vendo un pingüino, pica o no pica.
Pica o no pica.
No pica.
¿Te lo compro?
Te lo compro.
Te lo vendo.
¿Va?
Muy bien.
Muy bien. Pero ahora necesito drama. ¡Drama!
Drama.
¿Por qué? Drama.
Ok.
¿Ok? Va.
Te vendo un pingüino.
Pica o no pica. Te lo compro.
Te lo vendo.
Muy bien.
Ahora, vamos a hacernos un poquito más para atrás. Vamos a quitar la mesita, voy a quitar la mesita. Falta una última. Arriba. Digo, faltan dos. Hagan de cuenta que son extraterrestres. Te vendo un pingüino, ¿ok? Va. En extraterrestres, grabando. 3, 2, 1. ¡Acción!
Te vendo un pingüino.
Pica o no pica.
No pica.
Te lo compro.
Y ahora, ya por último, lo van a hacer como un villano, pero malo. Malo completamente. Malos. Malos, más malos que la carne de puerco con leche y en la noche, ¿ok? Va, no jala. Pingüino. ¿Ok? Ya.
Te vendo un pingüino.
Te lo compro.
¡Mariana! ¡Robin Nortero, ¡buen aplauso! ¡Fuerte aplauso! Muchas gracias, Mariana. De los personajes. Acá tenemos a Daniel. Hola, ¿qué tal, Daniel? ¿Cuál es tu pregunta?
Mi pregunta es si el personaje del pingüino te ha enseñado algo en tu vida. My question is if the penguin character has taught you something. My question is the character from the penguin taught you something that you use in your day-to-day life?
Yes, the thing I love or one of the things that I love the most about the penguin is his ambition. He, he spends a lot of his life being bullied by others and being treated like he's not worthy of anything, and because of the way he looks or the way he acts, and I identify with that in many ways. And however, the thing about Oswald is that he never let that stop him. He always had the highest ambition. So even when he was massaging Fish Mooney's feet, he knew that one day he would be the king of Gotham. And then by the end of that season, he was the king of Gotham. And I find that so inspiring. And yeah, and since playing the Penguin, myself as an actor, I have so much more confidence. And so much of that is just because of being on Gotham. So yeah, thank you. And I get to meet all of these amazing people. I get to travel the world, and I just have to say thank you so much for following our show and for supporting me and everyone else on our show. It means so much to all of us.